Well, good morning from the Oklahoman's video studio. I'm Dave Morris alongside Mike Knopp, Executive Director of the Oklahoma City Boathouse Foundation. Our weekly segment here on Monday morning, taking a look back at some of the adventures that have started there and looking forward to some other adventures, as well as providing some information. And later in this episode, we'll talk about Lake Overholser and some of the adventures you can get into there. But Mike, last week was a big week for the RIVERSPORTS Rapids, right?
Well, it was. I mean, it was a milestone moment. On Friday, we turned the water on, and so it was a little nerve-wracking at first, but no, it worked, and it was a wonderful sight to see water flowing down the course, and we actually got a couple boats on there as well.
When we last spoke last week, you had water in the course. There was landscaping around the course,
yeah.
And this was the next step to see, okay, can we make this water move?
It's kind of a moment of truth, you know, frankly, to turn those pumps on. So we turned on 3 of the 6 pumps just to do some testing and to see how the water would flow down this course. And we had all the rapid blocks in, and Scott Shipley, who is the man in charge of the design, he's S2O design. He was the first to go down, and I tell you, it was a sight to behold, and just really everyone was just raving about it once they were able to see it.
Pop open the champagne, right?
That's right. That's right.
at least that was working. You mentioned 3 of 6 pumps. How many typically pumps are working during a
Well, we'll have them mostly all on when we're going full. So if you've seen images of what occurred on Friday, we're going to have a lot more water flowing through it when it's fully up and going. But with 3 pumps, you still get the whitewater effect and the experience. And Scott and then Dave Hepp, who is our RIVERSPORTS Rapids General Manager Director, also took to the water, and they were both just raving about how the course really felt, and that was just with 3 pumps on.
How'd they do?
Oh, they did. These guys are pros. I mean, they know what they're doing, and you know, they had to go down each channel. Then we have our freestyle channel at the end, and a lot of smiling, you know. And I think they would have stayed in there as long as they could if we were to keep them on. But we're in the testing and tuning mode right now, and so this week there'll be a lot more of that going on as we get all the pumps operational.
Have you jumped in there yet?
No, I have not. I was there with the camera, and typically I do test everything.
That's my excuse usually.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll come very soon. So.
Well, you are still looking for some raft guides, and you have Raft Guide School. What is that?
We are. Well, to run RIVERSPORTS Rapids, we need a lot of raft guides who guide you on your experience through RIVERSPORTS Rapids, just like you would if you were rafting in Colorado. You're in these big inflatable rafts, and then your guide will steer you through the course and really tailor the experience based on your skill level. You know, if you've never done it before, they can certainly make it very, very accessible. And so we're looking for those people that want to have a lot of fun out there, want to have fun with the guests, love Oklahoma City, because let's face it, when you go on a rafting trip, wherever you go, typically you remember your raft guide, and you want that person to be very much somebody that can provide that great, memorable experience. And so we have a school that is starting again this weekend. We're going to have several of these classes. It's a pretty in-depth course because, you know, there's a lot of training involved. This first class is full, so that's great, and we're going to keep trying to fill these up for the next couple months. But college students, school teachers, people that may have a summer that they are looking to make a little extra money, do something a lot of fun, learn a new skill. You never know when you might need that skill.
True.
And even folks that are retired. And it's certainly going to be a very active kind of employment in that you're on the water all day, you're maneuvering through these rapids, but what a fun job. So.
I was talking with Don Meekoy, he's the business editor here at the Oklahoman. He and his sons had gone whitewater rafting in Colorado somewhere, and he mentioned how the guide made all the difference, you know, because they were a little bit more experienced than the typical tourists going through there. So like, okay, you guys know what you're doing. Let's take it to this level. So the guide made all the difference.
It's absolutely true, because there's a lot of things that you can do, and that's what's unique about this venue is every time you do it, it's different. And if you've never done it before and you might be a little intimidated, well, we can tailor that experience and make it where you're going down the recreational channel, maybe avoiding some of the bigger drops or not surfing some of the waves that you might do as you get more experience, because there's a lot of things you can do, turning the rafts into a rapid, doing some surfing, even going down to what we call a rodeo raft, which is a smaller raft, and it's just like you might envision. It kind of feels like you're, it's a little more, it's more of a wild ride going through those rapids, and that's for people who are a little more experienced. And so, a lot of different ways that you can experience the course. So.
Very cool. We're talking with Mike Knopp, Executive Director of the Oklahoma City Boathouse Foundation, and lots of new things going on there coming online as we head to the summer months. The Road to Rio coming up in May. RIVERSPORTS Rapids still set to open early May, late April?
Yes, May 7th officially.
Okay.
We are going to be starting to book raft experiences here real soon. We possibly will be doing some earlier experiences before May 7th to get people a chance to get on the water. But May 7th and 8th, that's the official opening day for the big Road to Rio weekend, Olympic trials and Central Youth Championship. Should be just a fabulous weekend for people to come down.
There'll be a lot going on that
There
weekend.
will be a lot going on, yes.
He mentioned Oklahoma City and the guides being perhaps an ambassador of Oklahoma City. Over the weekend, the Chicago Tribune had a story of 5 new attractions promising to deliver big thrills, great views. It mentioned the Speedway in Las Vegas. It mentioned the Navy Pier in Chicago and how they've built that up. And it really is a family-friendly destination. I was there this past fall, and it's pretty cool. Much like the family-friendly destination you're building along the river. It mentioned something in England and Oklahoma City. The RIVERSPORTS Rapids made the top 5 list.
Pretty amazing, I think, to be among the top 5 attractions that they're really highlighting to visit. And I think it's just representative of the scale of the kind of feature we're creating here in Oklahoma City. It's truly a game changer, something that, again, Chicago and LA and New York don't have. And people will come here from all over to experience this. And so it's right in our own backyard. So we hope folks are ready to get on the water.
I mentioned at the top of this, Lake Overholser Adventures. What's going on at the Lake Overholser?
Well, last fall we completed a massive renovation project of the old facilities that have been there. That's really where rowing began in Oklahoma City, and thanks to a grant and several generous contributions, we were able to completely renovate the facilities, created what we call the Trailhead Cafe, meant to really serve trail users. It's right on the trail that now connects to the Oklahoma River and Lake Hefner. And so really beautiful facility. There's an event center there, a fitness center, and then adventure features, just different than what we have downtown. But a zip line, there's what we call a stunt jump. It's a pretty thrilling little free fall feature, a swing, giant swing that swings you over the river. And then the wildlife refuge there at Stinchcombe. And so we have kayaks and stand-up paddle boards and actually a boat that can take you up into the preserve and drop you off and kayak back. It's an incredible resource we have in Oklahoma City that I think it's now beginning, more and more people are starting to discover it, but you truly are out in the middle of the wilderness when you go back in the wildlife refuge. And so our venue at Lake Overholser is really meant to support that and kind of help people discover that area. And it's all part of our programming and our pass. I mean, you can buy a pass, season pass, and go to both downtown and Lake Overholser. So really, really unique venue we have out there.
And Lake Overholser, of course, is on the west side of Oklahoma City. I believe it's Route 66 that takes you out there, right?
Yes, there's the old Route 66 bridge that goes over the river there, and it's the North Canadian River flows right along the lake. And so the kayaking and the canoeing, we have paddle boats, that's all on the river side. And then on the island between the river and the lake are the adventure features and the boathouse.
Very cool. I'm going to have to get out there. I've been on the shores, I've seen it, but I haven't been on the water out there. Sounds
really,
like
really beautiful, yes.
He's Mike Knopp, Executive Director of the Oklahoma City Boathouse Foundation. All the stuff we mentioned here can be found, more information can be found on their website at boathousedistrict.org. Mike, congrats on the moving water. And best of luck moving forward with everything. Thanks again for stopping in.
Well, thank you. Great to be here as always.